Welcome to Green Addicts Live.
Hey.
I've got a couple of guests in here. Well, one guest in here. You got my partner right here beside me, Russ Lewis.
Hey.
I'm Bradley Crenshaw. We are the owners of Green Addicts, and we are joined with us today. We've got Jennifer Clements with us from Clements Electric.
Yes.
Jennifer,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We are awesome. Always great.
Always great, right?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is, right? Yeah.
Yep. It's we got some nice weather going on out there. I mean,
Oh
at
my
least
gosh, yes.
if it would stay around this temperature, we would.
I would be
okay.
slow the rest of my business life.
Okay, if it stayed this way, we wouldn't be in Texas.
Right.
Okay. We'd be somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know where. Maybe Hawaii.
I know. I would love to be in Hawaii.
You know, I met a woman who actually runs a business. She dispatches from Hawaii and lives in Hawaii, but her business is in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm like, she's got crap figured out, man.
That's awesome.
She's got a plan.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this is a show where we talk about efficiency in life, efficiency in your business. And we like to bring guests on the show with us just so that way you don't just hear from me and Russ. And that gets old.
No, it doesn't get old, does it?
Yeah. I mean, I know you like to hear yourself talk. So we brought Jennifer with us today. And I just we really want to dig into Jennifer. We want to know about
That's
Jennifer.
scary. Are you ready?
Her business,
Open it
her
up.
life, how she makes things efficient,
Yeah.
and how things operate for her. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of turn the mic over to Jennifer, and I want her to kind of tell you a little bit about her, how she got in the business, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
Awesome. So my name is Jennifer Clements Wells. I own Clements Electric. We service the whole DFW Metroplex for electrical. We do residential, commercial, and then we also do parking lot, pole lighting, parking garages, things like that. But I took over the business in 2000. I didn't take it over then, but I started working with my dad in 2006. And honestly, my very first position was janitorial.
Hey.
Like I cleaned the office. My dad was like, no, you don't get a free ride. You got to work for it. So I did. I cleaned offices. I cleaned trucks. I learned inventory. That's where I started, and then data entry. And I just slowly worked my way to the top. And now I work it's a co-owner position with my dad. Love it. I get to talk to him every day. And if it's, like Thanksgiving weekend, he'll call me at least 4 times. I talk to my dad a minimum of 4 times a day. It's probably like my number one that I love the most is that I get to work with someone who we just enjoy each other.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool. But yeah, it's been an awesome ride. We had some down slumps when the economy turned in 2008 to 2011, so that kind of hurt. But we've been rocking and rolling since we've come back. It's just been awesome. The business has been a huge learning experience for me, and there's not a day that I don't go in that I don't feel challenged, and I like that. I'm always growing.
Yeah.
Always looking for a new way to learn something.
I think that's the perfect perspective to have. Never stopping, keeping the push going. you
Right,
know? And
right.
Because I don't care what kind of expert you can become in whatever your field is, there's room for growth.
Right. My dad's always taught me. He said, if you didn't learn something that day because you didn't ask enough questions.
That's good.
And so I always try to make sure I ask enough questions, but also partnering with that, make sure you listen.
Yeah.
Because you can ask a lot of questions to yourself without actually having to ask them out loud. You can just listen. You'll listen and learn.
Listening is a beautiful thing.
Man,
So-
it'll keep you out of trouble with your wife too.
Oh, I've heard. So
He
when
needs all the help he can get in that department.
hey, I am well loved. Okay. So when did your dad start the business?
So my dad started the business back in 1982, and he was actually in Colorado. So he did some electrical work on NORAD, the mountain in Colorado that the Air Force is in. So
Is that the mountain that we don't speak of?
right? Yeah.
Okay.
We
Wait a
don't
minute.
speak
Wait,
of it.
NORAD. That sounds like that Santa tracker or something.
It is. That's exactly what that is. Yeah. So he did some electrical work there, and then he moved from Colorado to California, and really truly put the grit and grind into developing the business. And then in '93, we moved from California to Texas.
Oh.
So yeah, we've been in Texas ever since.
Cool. You were saying that this weather kind of has something to do with volume for you.
I think so. I think so.
think?
Yeah. So electrical and heat, they don't partner well together.
Oh.
So, because electricity components make their own heat, so you have them heat up, and then you add the 130-degree days that we get, not
Yeah.
like figuratively, like it feels like it's that hot.
Right.
You get a lot more failures, you get a lot more busy. And then also too, when it gets super cold and people start kicking on a lot of space heaters, a lot of heaters, things start overloading,
Yeah.
tripping breakers, that sort of thing. So it's when it's super nice and people are opening their windows, doesn't typically correlate to being busy. So
Yeah.
you got to put some extra effort into that marketing and maybe get some of those wish list projects completed. But
Yep. Backyard projects, whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Well, what about your family?
Oh.
You said you got a husband because it's not
Yes.
Clements anymore.
no, it's not. It's Wells. Yeah. So my husband and I actually met in high school. We have 3 beautiful daughters, 12, 8, and they just had birthdays. So 12, 8, and 6. Yes. And we just moved into a brand new house that we built with our own hands.
Okay. I need to know more about this. You
It's
built
pr-
it with your own hands.
We did. So my husband, he's amazing. He's so mechanically inclined, and definitely the project would not have happened if it wasn't for him and his skills and knowledge, and his guidance. But yeah, we lived in a camper, 30-foot bumper pull camper for an entire year while we built the barndominium that we live in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're talking late nights in the evenings, building the house till the sun went down. It was so cold. Oh man, it was so cold. When we were trying to get it dried in, I just remember how freezing we were. Oh man, it was like the wettest winter we've ever had in Texas.
Yeah.
It was so cold, but we prevailed. I'm talking, we did it all ourselves. I learned how to do sheetrock. I learned how to do tape bed and texture. I ran all the electrical myself with some help with some of my guys. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Framing, I learned framing. I mean, you name it, I freaking learned it. And not a day's or a trill. I'm not trade skilled or skilled trade in any of that, but it was like, I got to get a house for my family. So yeah, we live in like less than 1,000 square feet. My kids have their own little like nook bedroom areas. And we make it that like 998 square feet work.
That's cool.
So basically what I'm hearing, it was a must.
Oh,
you,
it was.
you had to figure it out.
We had to.
It's you get out there, you hustle, you make it happen. Rain, shine, whatever, it's going to get done.
It has to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of times, even in business side of things, people don't take that approach. They they get a little complacent. They don't take the approach of, you know what, I've got to do whatever it takes. That's one of our core values, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we call it We It, but it's whatever it takes to get the job done. And that's exactly what I'm hearing is you and your husband, there was no options.
No, there were none.
And sometimes I think we need to attack each day like there's no option. Just to attack it with the mindset of we're going to do whatever it takes
Right.
to make this happen
Yeah.
today,
Yes.
not tomorrow,
Right.
today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so what put all that into motion is we had a kid that got super sick. And so we had high medical bills that were just astronomical. And the only thing that we had of value was the house that we lived in. And so it was, do we sell the house for one? And are we still doing right by our other 2? And so that's hard as a parent because you really, you can't just make decisions for just one. You got the others you got to worry about. So that was hard to deal with as a parent, but we didn't have a choice. I mean, we had medical bills we had to pay for. We emptied savings, but there was still a balance. And as a parent, you do whatever it takes, legit. Like there's no stopping it at that point. And so, yeah, we sold the house that we lived in. We bought the 30-foot bumper pull camper. It wasn't even new. Like we bought this thing used and had to rehab it to live in it. It was bad. Like
Motivation.
tell me about it. Like in my the couch. So I mean, I remember one day we were working on the camper. We were about to pull it out and move it to the piece of land, and my husband's like, "Okay, let's put the couch back in." And I had like a breakdown moment, and I was like, please don't put that couch back in. Like, can we just please spend $60 and buy a new couch, like off Amazon or something? But please, can we not put this couch back in? It was like broken and leaning, and I was just like, and he was like, I really just don't want you to cry. I'll buy the couch.
60. Okay.
Yeah. So it's little moments and memories like that I can't wait to hear in 10, 20 years from my kids, how they processed it and digested it, and the stories that they'll tell at Christmas or Thanksgiving of their, to their significant other, or just retelling of what it was really like from their point of view at that age. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Amazing stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. We have a family story of ours. We didn't have a whole lot of money as kids, growing up, and when it came time for Christmas tree, well, Christmas trees cost money.
They do.
Whether you're getting a plastic one or a real one at the store or whatever. Well, my dad got creative. I don't know where the land is, but we would go and borrow a Christmas tree. Okay.
I like how you said that.
In quotations.
Borrowed.
Yeah.
Did you return it when you were done?
I don't think so. But I will tell you
That's
that.
my call, borrow.
Well, okay. But he did whatever it took, okay? That man, he loved his family. He said, I'm going to get them a tree. So I don't recommend doing that, by the way.
No borrowing.
It's just
not
one of those
borrow
funny
Christmas
family
trees.
memories.
Oh, it is though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, you hold on to that kind of stuff.
do.
Y'all are in a time right now that, okay, yeah, it's maybe it's smaller than what you want to have.
Yeah.
God, you know what though? Close quarters call for lots of grace being given.
Yes, lots of
You know,
grace.
passed around here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so what if you got to put them in the closet and close it and say good
We don't
night?
even have closets.
Oh,
that's,
really?
that's lost square footage. We don't have closets.
Wow.
Only dressers.
Wow. But you know what? Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Efficient in the home as well, it sounds like.
You have to be.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, you have to be. Absolutely. Yeah. So like in how like that transpires over to business for me is we use a software called House Call Pro, and a lot of it is like I'm able to work from my cell phone. So I made it to where I made myself a priority to my children, and I leave work every day at 3:40 and I do pickups. That's a priority for me. And so, and then how I do that is I set my phone to my voicemail and I send it and I say, if you want to book an appointment, book us online. So we got online booking on our website, and that's all linked into our software House Call Pro. But that's like, I had to set personal boundaries because I knew what my family needed from me. So it just making it to where it also setting that boundary, but knowing that I wasn't going to have to choose between family or business.
That's a beautiful balance.
It's a hard balance and
Yeah.
it's complicated.
Yeah.
But you can never, these priorities are only going to have to be for 18 years.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't ever get these young years back.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard for a lot of women in any business and who work either in a home service business or they work period. It's so hard. We feel so guilty that we missed this or we can't do this or we can't do pickups or whatever. And so I feel incredibly blessed that I'm able to say, no, this is a priority and I'm taking it and I'm going to sacrifice, 2.5 hours or an hour and a half of phone calls I could be receiving to make sure that I'm there for my kids. And if my business doesn't skyrocket because of that, that's part of taking that sacrifice. You have to be okay with that. And so it took me a long time to be okay with that because I really wanted to be successful, but I had to check myself because it was at a cost that I wasn't willing to pay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I believe family comes before business always. I mean, we're partially closing our office. We've got very, very limited hours between the 24th all the way through January 5th because I want everyone at the office to have an adequate amount of time to spend with their family. So the day after Christmas, I'm going to come in and I'm going to answer the phones just to allow them the 3 days there in a row before we come back in and get started. So I'm all about family before business.
Yeah. It's so important. And it's very easy to lose track of that, especially when we're so driven to meet our next goal. We all have our business vision boards and we're all trying to reach our next thing so that we can go to the next thing. And it's all about, for us, it's all about push, especially as business owners and developers of our businesses. It's all about, I want to reach that 3.5. I want to reach that 5. And so we're always trying to strategize, what can I do? But that strategy doesn't have to come at a high cost. You can you got to be creative. And so sometimes I may go to bed at midnight, but I was there and put the kids in bed and tucked them in at 8:30, but I worked from 8:30 to midnight and I was doing emails or I was doing reports or, it could be anything business wise, but that was a really hard thing for me to learn. And I still struggle with it because I am so business motivated and it's so easy to find yourself rewarded with meeting those goals that you want to keep doing that. It's just like going to the gym and meeting those gains.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have to be engaged and you have to utilize the time that you have to be productive.
Yes.
You cannot waste that time. If you want to have a life balance, you've got to utilize that work time to be super dialed in.
Yeah, maximum.
Dialed in.
Yeah, you have to. And that was one of the things too that I learned is I was wasting time going and getting lunch. like, oh, everybody has to eat. Like, and especially as a busy mom, like lunchtime is like, nobody's asking me for half of my meal because I'm at the office.
Yeah, surprise.
So yeah, exactly. So I got a smoothie machine, and I have, fruits and vegetables delivered, and I just make a smoothie for lunch every day. But it's helped, like, your minerals and your nutrition that you need.
Yeah.
But that's just one of those things where it's like, okay, I can carve out that 45 minutes. I don't have to take that 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I can cut that down.
That reminds me so much of the movie The Pursuit of Happiness,
Oh,
where
yeah.
where he was on the phone working a call list, and he would not go and have water during the day because that took away 7 minutes of his time to get up and have to walk to the bathroom down the hall and come back, and he could utilize that time to make another phone call. So just finding those little things along the way that help you to be more efficient in the time that you have
Yeah.
is super crucial.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And when we were building the house, like if we would come home from work and we'd change clothes and go back outside, and because we knew like it didn't matter if we only hung one beam or one piece of siding, it was one more than we had before. And so we got to the point where it's like, okay, crock pot meals, like easy meals. And there's so many Facebook groups for moms, working moms or busy moms, whatever, for tips and tricks. If you're a woman in the home service industry, there's an amazing group called Lady Pros, and we're constantly trading ideas on how to better our businesses, HR questions, time balance management questions, anything like that. It's a great community to come together and just learn and grow and how to be better at anything that you want to be better at. So find your community, find your people, and find where you belong. That's my biggest tip.
I like that.
House Call Pro is where we originally
Yeah.
made contact with each
Yeah.
other. We went to a meetup group over in the Burleson or Fort Worth area over there,
Yep.
and that was where we originally met Jennifer.
Yeah.
And then we've been to a New Orleans conference down there with
Yep.
Jennifer with House Call. So
Yep.
we are also firm believers in House Call. They've helped us on the software side of things.
Yeah, they're really good. They're a really good company. And really just also another really great place to go and just ask business questions. It's hard when you're in a home service trade to learn from anyone because they're not open. People aren't open to that. I don't know, like they feel like they're giving away trade secrets almost.
Yeah.
But so House Call has that online community, and then they also have the pro meetups, and then they have the mastermind events, but it's a great open floor to just ask everything. And you can grow if you ask the right questions.
Absolutely.
And so that community to me is really helped put me to where I am today because I can just ask. I can just ask, and
That's a massive tool.
it is.
Yeah, I for the first several years at
House
business,
Call or asking questions.
asking questions.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. House
Yeah.
calls are an awesome tool, but
Yeah.
the asking questions.
Yeah.
For the first several years of business, I was the one man
Yeah.
show, and I didn't ask a lot of questions. I mean, I did what I could to learn, but boy, once you finally like break that, whatever, if it's a mental barrier or you just simply don't know,
Right.
you just start asking questions. My gosh, it's amazing how much information
Right.
people are willing to share and give and say, oh, you know what, I did this to get to this next level of business, or
Right.
don't waste your time with that.
Right.
Come over here on this side.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. We've got a group tomorrow with House Call Pro that we're meeting up at Will Hoyt's.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that'll be nice. I'll be asking
Yes.
some questions.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be all about marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's those events are just my absolute favorite because you get to rub elbows with people who are in the trenches just like we are. They're trying to just grow and develop. And my I reference my dad so much, but to me he hung the moon. But my dad always says the smartest people learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
So if somebody else has made a mistake and I can ask a question and learn, I'm not going to make that same mistake.
Yeah.
So, I really, really try to practice that as much as I can and be like, well, they tried it and it failed. So, but there again, sometimes there are some other times where I test it because maybe I'm going to do it a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to be like, hey, that didn't work for them. We're not going to spend that much money.
Yeah.
Because sometimes some of the mistakes can be catastrophic to a business. And I don't know. I really enjoy having a place to go and learn and just openly ask questions.
Yeah.
And sometimes people aren't going to ask them because they don't want to, don't want to answer them because
Yeah.
they're guarded or whatever, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Keep
just keep asking. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
Exactly.
So we have a partnership with you on something
Oh, we
as
do.
well, don't
We do. It's super awesome.
That's so we've partnered with her and their company, and several other companies have joined in on that
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
And it is a toy drive that we've been kind of putting together, and there's the information on the screen.
Yes.
But I'm going to kind of let Jennifer tell you a little bit about that, because ultimately she's the one fully in charge of this. We're just trying to help her out a little
Yeah.
bit and help,
And I appreciate
help make
that so much.
a child's Christmas enjoyable. So,
Yeah.
Jennifer, tell us about the toy drive.
So the toy drive is actually, it's a virtual toy drive. So anybody in the United States, even I had someone from India actually give, so that was kind of cool. But it's a virtual toy drive. So it's an Amazon wish list. You click the link, you shop, it gets sent directly to me at my office. I usually do a Facebook Live and open the gifts because I'm like a kid. Like, I'm excited. Like, I want to know what's in the box. But December 16th, they're all getting delivered to the Shriners, and the Shriners are going to deliver them to the Shriners Hospital, Children's Hospital. They're going down to Galveston, and there's also a Scottish Rite Hospital in Dallas. Some of them will be going there because there's a need for there as well. But it's just super easy. It's so simple. Like, people from Hawaii, New Jersey, Washington, Oklahoma, like people from all over the country are donating to make sure these children in the hospital don't go without. And so if you don't know what the Shriners Hospital is, they are an amazing, it just breaks my heart. So the hospital down in Galveston specializes in burns, and burns are horrific, much less on a child. And so they treat these kids free of cost. A lot of times, sometimes they're from different countries. I know that the Shriners Hospital is brought in from like Mexico for children that have had burns. So they're coming and they may not even speak English, much less have anything that they were able to bring with them. So for Christmas, my goal is to make sure that every child in every bed has got a toy. And so I'm really thankful for you guys partnering with us to help get the word out, for people to shop that link, have it sent to us. Like, you're able to do this like before you go to bed, like, or you're sitting on the couch or your lunch or whatever. You don't even have to go out and get the toy. It's sent directly to me and I handle the rest. So, but I know, Bradley, you've got some history with the Shriners yourself.
I do, and it had to do with my daughter and them kind of, chipping in to help with, some plane rides and so
Yeah.
and stuff for her back when we were young and stupid.
Yeah.
There's a
Young and
song,
penniless?
yeah, Young, Dumb, and Broke. That's
That's it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the toy drive, Green Addicts employees, listen to me. I'm coming to you right through the screen. If you have not got on there and bought a toy and sent to one of these kids, I need you to do that before the week's over with.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Time is short.
Get
Yes.
a toy sent over to her office.
Yes, so we're 13 days from the wish list closing, and my office is being overrunneth, and it's so amazing.
Overrunneth?
Overrunneth, overfloweth. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It is. It is. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
This guy.
I know, I can't help it. It's like can't stop. Go ahead.
But no, it's just a huge blessing, and it's so easy and simple. And I can't imagine if I was if I was a mom and it was my kid, and just having a simple gift brought in that I didn't have to worry about, because I know that Chris, like, you're feeling bad because you're missing out on Christmas.
Yeah.
We're just be able to take that weight off of that parent and give joy to that kid. It's so incredibly simple, and simple things like Play-Doh, they can throw it away. It's considered a consumable, so like, germs and things like that are really bad in hospitals,
Yeah.
and so the kids can play with it and they can throw it away, and so that's one of the big things that we've tried to work on restocking is their Play-Doh stock. Anything that can be disinfected, hard toys. But check out that Amazon wish list. All of those things that are on there came from ideas from the Shriners Hospital themselves. They sent me an email and said, "Hey, this is where the needs are."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's an awesome thing.
That's going to be fun. I don't even know if there's a way. It'd be amazing if we could see it, a video here or there of maybe a kid getting to open a present. I don't even know if that would
know.
be, maybe in the future. Maybe that's
Yeah,
something we
in
could
the future,
we could
absolutely.
get
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yes.
But I mean, just to get to see the joy on the kid's face, because
I know.
it's going to happen.
Yes.
But it won't happen unless you buy that toy and
Exactly.
get it sent in. So
Exactly.
yeah, I would encourage everyone. Let's all be a part.
Yes,
That'd be
absolutely.
amazing.
And there are so many different price brackets in there. There's under $10. There's over $30. So there's places for everyone's budget. I know that that's hard, especially this time of year.
Most people will waste $10 a day at a convenience store.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Just don't stop at the convenience store for one day.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
And send a toy.
Yeah.
Pass up a cup of $6
Yeah.
and go buy a toy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's my husband is a Shriner, so that's kind of where the love of it started, and seeing everything that he does and sacrifices. Like, he sacrifices time with our family to go and raise money to give to the hospitals, and just seeing how much joy that brings to his heart. So I kind of I just started this on my own and said, hey, by the way, you're going to have a ton more toys to take with you. And he was like, you're kidding me. I said, no. I said, I started a virtual toy drive. It's going pretty well. And so I've sent him some pictures and stuff, and he's just blown away by the generosity of people, not even in Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, all over the United States,
cool.
people are just giving with an open heart. And all I can thank you is not enough. Like, thank you is just not enough, because I can just, after watching my children open gifts, I can only imagine the look on the children's faces when they get these gifts.
Yeah.
And you don't know. You just don't know.
And thank you to my John Maxwell family.
Yes.
I know that we've been getting some toys in from the John Maxwell team, and I
Yes.
really, really appreciate you guys stepping up and doing that.
Yes, thank you. And I try very hard I try really hard every time I open packages, because I open them almost daily. If I didn't, I'd be overrun. But I try to post thank yous and send thank yous to each and every person who sends a toy. That's important. I think everyone who's donated should be recognized. So, thank you so much to John Maxwell team for everything that you guys sent. That was really special.
Very cool. Well, we've got another thing that we're going to be a part of pretty soon, and that's going to be that attic makeover.
Oh yeah.
I am excited, man.
We've gotten some pretty good nominees so far. Right?
Yeah, but I'd really love to get some more nominees. It's difficult to choose anyways.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, somebody out there in this DFW Metroplex is going to get the benefit, and they're going to have a full attic makeover. We're going to go in, perform our CPR, which is an energy audit on steroids, and we'll go in and test the home. We're going to find out everything that it needs. It may be that it needs insulation. Maybe we need to remove the old insulation. Maybe they need an HVAC system. Maybe they can't even heat their home this winter. That's the kind of persons that I want to have someone nominate. The people they're doing what they can to try and make ends meet, and they just need a hand. And
Right.
and we want to.
Well, and some people, and I've even heard of some people who won't turn the heat on at all because they
Yeah.
know it's not going to work, and
Yeah.
they can't afford to pay the bill if it's not going to make a difference.
Right.
So that's
maybe it'll produce heat, but
Right.
the home is so air leaky or so uninsulated that they can't even keep it warm.
right. So they just don't even bother.
Yeah, I've actually been in homes in the past of those.
Everybody has an opportunity, so please send in those nominees for us to review, because what we're going to do is we're going to break those down and we're going to go and do home visits with these people, and that's where we're going to perform the CPRs.
Yep. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, but mainly because we all, as a team, as a Green Addicts team, get to go and all do it together. That's the part I'm really looking forward to also, because there's something different when you're really putting your own hands, your own effort into it, and to get to do it with your team members, your family members.
Yeah.
That is a lot of fun.
It really is.
It changes everything.
It really is.
You know?
And they always, like, my biggest thing is like, you think the person who's getting the give, but it's really the person giving the give.
Yeah.
That's always been my.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, y'all, please send in your nominations to info@greenaddicts.com. And as always, we can be found all over the internet. We can be found at facebook.com. Search us there, on -airmedia.com. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on we're on where else? Apple iTunes. Really, it's all over. Google Green Addicts. We're going to be around. But check out the podcast. We love to share on this efficiency. I'm so thankful that Jennifer came in today.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
And I'm excited about what's to come for these next few weeks. So
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be giving updates on the next time around. But y'all tune in every Tuesday, 10 a.m. And remember, Green Addicts has been energized since 2007. Thank y'all.